All right, folks, welcome back to the Transfer Portal CFB. My name is Dan Keegan, and we're going to bring to you a little 2022 season preview, a conference championship draft. We have five of our esteemed Transfer Portal CFB scribes here, and what we're going to do is we're going to draft 5-round draft. We're going to pick conference champions. In whatever round you pick somebody that wins their conference, you get that many points at the end of the season. And we'll keep track, and at the end of the year, we'll have a champion. So let's go ahead and determine the draft order. I got all of our names here in a hat. So the 5th pick, we're going to go last to first. The 5th pick belongs to, can you read that all? Dave. Dave in the 5 spot. All right. And in the 4th pick, we have me, Dan. All right. Good. I did not want to get the one and then everybody yells that I've rigged it. I did not want that to happen. All right, 3rd pick belongs to Andrewster. All right.
Middle of the board.
This is a snake style draft, and all FBS teams are eligible, obviously, except for independents, because they don't have a conference to win. Adam at 2, and Doug.
Love it.
You are on the clock.
Don't love it, because normally my first pick would be the Dogs, but we're not going with the Dogs this year, at least so far. They won't make the second round, so I'm just stalling. Ohio State is my pick. Their return at large. Okay, I forgot we're not explaining. Ohio State, go.
Okay, my turn. I'm gonna take the Clemson Tigers.
All right, 3rd pick. I'm going to take the Alabama Crimson Tide.
A long slide down the draft in the green room.
No, pretty big.
Dude, my picks are falling. I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box here.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna go.
Dan, it's your pick.
Oh, my bad.
I will do it. I will take Georgia.
You motherfucker.
This is a family show.
You mother.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Utah Utes to win the Pac-12.
Okay.
Great pick.
And you're on the turn. You got a second.
On again. 2 points now. So I might be sniping you here, Adam. I'm going with the Houston
No.
Cougars.
Oh, no.
Oh, you savage. That was my pick.
I like it for the 2.
All right, I'm buying in. USC. Trojans.
Ooh.
Okay.
Give me Caleb Williams, DC native, like myself.
I hate you, Dave, because I was going to take it from Adam. I'll take the App State Mountaineers.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
First G5 team off the board.
I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna take Boise State.
It's back to back, so the order doesn't really matter.
It does because of scoring.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. I will take the Cowboys of Oklahoma State.
You need Oregon State now to match your OSU.
Yeah. No. I will go with the orange team though. Give me the U.
Okay. I'm going to take what I think is a lock. Conference USA. I'm taking UTSA.
No.
Oh,
Fight me.
Well, is this our first back-to-back? No, it's not, because we had the SEC. I'm actually going to take UAB.
ooh, I like it.
Good choice.
Okay, I'm gonna pick. Oh, I think I can get them a little bit later. I'm trying to decide if I wanted to go full on hype and take another paper tiger like USC. No, I'm going to take UCF.
Okay.
I say you watch my preview.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the 3 points. I'm gonna go Coastal Carolina. And then for my 4-point play, if you watch the MAC preview, you know I'm super high on them. Kent State Golden Flashes to win the MAC.
We're firmly in sleeper territory. All right, I'll do it for 4. I'll take. They're back, Texas.
You Zach Wilson mother lover.
What is this?
Crud. That makes my job so hard. It's 4-point. I don't know if I want to get this team sniped. Give me NC State.
It's good value right there.
That is a good value play.
Everybody's darling this offseason.
Them, Purdue, and Kansas State.
Yeah, you tripping on Kansas State, but
I'm not a Kansas State. So
I'm gonna go ahead and take them. Oklahoma.
the
Bro,
Texas
you
fan.
that's nasty. That's just nasty.
I
Coming from you.
agree.
All right. Give me the Toledo Rockets.
I love it. Great pick.
Okay. And then as for another pick, let's see. I knocked out 3 Power Fives. Shit. The only thing is give me the Volunteers as a value.
I think I'm gonna get involved in the MAC too. I'm gonna take Central Michigan.
Another good play.
This is a weird spot. I think this is going to be only the second Mountain West team. I'm going to take Fresno State.
Solid pick.
I am also going to the Mountain West for Air Force.
I am going to go with, this is a value play. Do I do it? No, I can't. It's just losing. It's just losing 5 points. I'm gonna take Baylor.
I don't hate
in the
that.
Big 12. I was gonna go Penn State, but that's just throwing away 5 points, so I decided not
It
to.
is.
Because we know how you feel about them too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
Sean
know.
Clifford and James Franklin.
For 5 points, it's not worth it. I'll take my shot. I'll take a shot with Baylor.
Is Sean Clifford going to have that job on, let's say, week 7? Where's the kid taking it?
He's gonna get hurt. He could legitimately be the starting quarterback for the next 6 years. Nobody would say anything. But yeah, I want Aller in there because I think they're gonna start off like 4-0 again and then lose 4 in a row. That's just what's gonna happen. They're gonna start off hot and then fall apart. But yeah.
All right, let's run down our picks a little bit. Criticize one another, praise one another if we so choose to be nice. Dave, let's go through. You got Utah, you have Houston, you have Coastal, Kent State, and Baylor. You have two defending conference champions in Utah and Baylor, and then 3 G5 teams. What do you like here?
I mean, I kind of get with the 5th pick. Obviously, all the blue bloods are off the board. But yeah, I really like Utah. I'm not buying on the USC hype train. I think Utah comes as a more complete team. I think they'll be better than they were last year. Rising is really, really good, and I think that they have a legit shot to get in the playoff. Houston, I love Dana Holgerson. I love Houston. I think Cincinnati's gonna have a down year, and I think Houston you can get it plus 250, I believe. I forget the number on the sports books, but I took that. So I'm a Cougar fan this year. I'm excited about them. Coastal, they're more of a value play. I think they're plus 550 to win the Sun Belt. But I really like Grayson McCall. I think that they're just it's going to be them or App State. I feel like in that conference. I really like Coastal. Again, they've become a powerhouse in the G5. Moving on to Kent State, I am in love with Kent State this year. Colin Schley's replacing Dustin Crum. I think that he's going to have a fantastic year. Their defense is a little shot, but their offense is going to be so good this year that they're plus 800 too. So they're a really, really big value pick. But yeah, I just think they're going to be incredible to watch this year. CMU would have been my other play to win the MAC. So that was a good pick. But yeah, I love Kent State, and Baylor was just kind of just throwing darts to dartboard here. I think that there are 3 teams that can win it. OU, actually 4 teams. I don't know about Texas. I'm sorry, Adam, but I think it's OU, OK State, and Baylor to win the Big 12. And I like Baylor a lot. Aranda's a good coach, and they have the best defense in the conference. So got to go with the Bears.
Yeah, that's a sturdy program. Houston, part of me wishes I had taken them there because they don't have
Stole my
Cincy.
pick.
They don't have
Yeah.
Cincy or UCF.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
they're going to cruise into the title game, and then
Hey.
it's 50-50 if they win it.
Yeah.
Or, 55 or whatever. But yeah.
I like that pick even more now.
Any other thoughts on Dave's picks?
Yeah,
I
man,
love the
I
Houston
like his
pick.
team. Yeah, Houston. I think I agree with him with Utah.
All I would say is I don't think the Baylor dart's going to stick. I think that team has to take a step back.
Well, yeah, it was either Baylor or Penn State. That was kind of in my mind, and I feel like I got a better shot with Baylor than James Franklin over there.
I would personally take Dave Aranda over James Franklin, so I can understand.
Yeah,
this.
no, I take me over James Franklin.
All I'm saying is that Dave got good value on a decent amount of those picks, so
Yeah.
props to him.
That's what I was
Did-
going. I'm always value hunting out here. And when we do the betting show, I'll be throwing out my value picks.
Okay. I am kind of mad at myself at buying into the hype on these two already, USC and Texas. They were looking so good on these prices here, and I just talked myself into them. I do really like USC. I love Caleb Williams. He's from DC, just like I am. He's a joy to watch him play. I think UCF is the real deal. They got a lot of Power 5 transfers coming down to play there. That'll be it's like taking a donut off the baseball bat and swinging it, for players of those caliber. I like Air Force. I think that they could win the conference for first time in a while. They just have just a ton of returning production. I think it's something like over 80% in terms of returning production. And and Georgia's Georgia. So that is, we'll see on in first week of December if that's worth it. But yeah. What did I screw up? What did I do? What did I do well?
I personally wouldn't have taken Georgia in the first round just because of Alabama. But I like the USC pick because that offense is going to be fun to watch. I just worry about the defense and especially the offensive line. But, if they can figure that out, Lincoln Riley's a great coach. I do also like the Air Force pick. I think that if it's not Fresno State or Boise State, Air Force is definitely a pick to win it.
My only beef was UCF. I don't think what should have went that high, but then again, it chose Miami and Toledo back to back. So
That was
That's
certainly
one
one
way to
where I've been all off season. I've been saying UCF. So that was kind of a putting my money where my mouth is kind of pick. But
I like the UCF pick. I think he's gonna be really good this year.
that's a Houston man there. So
Are they going to Cincinnati, or are they?
it's in the bounce house.
Okay, so that's huge for them.
Yeah, and they don't get Houston. Well, obviously because Houston doesn't
Yeah.
get them. So
Mhm.
Also, we can say Cincy is a notable, I don't know how notable, I can't remember the word for when we say someone didn't make the
Snub?
snub. Yeah.
No,
I was
yeah.
looking at that. We snubbed. So reigning conference champions, we don't have Pitt. We don't have Michigan. We do have Baylor. We do have Utah. We do have Georgia. We don't have Louisiana.
Georgia didn't win the
We
SEC.
don't have Utah State. What did I say?
You said Georgia.
Oh, right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're both in the first round, so it doesn't really matter. But
Don't
Mhm.
have Utah State. We did not pick Northern Illinois. We did pick UTSA, and we did not pick Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
I think we. No,
Oh,
I think we.
Sorry, go.
We're messing this up. We're both speaking at the same time. I think Cincinnati, we all know, is going to take a massive step back. They lost so much talent to the NFL draft that even if they are a good team, Houston returns so much talented production. It's going to be tough. Obviously there is also the UCF pick, and I do like UCF. I just been very high on Houston. I wish he would have, or both Dave and Dan would have let him get to me. That would have been a great second round pick.
I'm surprised Houston got to the second round. I I was kind of hoping I would pick last because I would have picked Houston and then probably got Clemson as well.
Yeah, I think
See, go ahead.
I did it again. I keep doing it. I'm sorry.
No,
You
no.
can,
'Cause I thought we're not talking about Adams yet, so we're good.
I was gonna go Cincy real quick. I think losing Ritter is huge for them. And again, I come back to the odds that the odds makers are making when it comes to the prices on these teams when the conference. They're only plus 190. There's no value in them. So unless you take them in the first or second round, I don't think that really I'm not shocked they got snubbed because I think there's better value in these other teams.
I would agree. All right. Guess we'll move on to my picks. First round, Alabama. I think there's two teams that can win the national title this year, realistically, unless we get a super surprise. That's Ohio State and Alabama. I'm absolutely shocked. Alabama fell to me at 3. I thought that was an easy one, too. Appreciate that, Adam. They return a lot of great talent. They get Jahmyr Gibbs from Georgia Tech. They get Jermaine Burton from Georgia. Yeah, they're both Georgia kids. I love that team. They'll probably be playing in the national title. App State, Sun Belts. I think that Billy Napier in Louisiana to cause problems, whether you want to call them Louisiana, ULL, Lafayette. They're probably not Lafayette College because that's a completely different program. I love App State. UAB in the 3rd round. No more Bill Clark, but I still love a lot of things about that program. A lot of veteran coaches. Dwayne McBride is one of the best running backs. You could say he's top 10 in the country. I do worry about UTSA's loss on defense. They did lose a decent amount of defensive prospects. I like UAB there. 4th round, NC State, bit more of a value pick. But when it comes to value, the best place to look in the Power 5, in my opinion, is the ACC because we don't know how many troubles they're going to have, especially with their offensive skill positions. We know they have an amazing Larry, who's, in my opinion, a top 5 quarterback in the nation. If NC State were to make a move, this would be the perfect year with a Clemson down year. 5th year, Fresno State. You can kind of look at the same scenario. Mountain West is relatively weak. Like there's no superpower like Boise State used to be, early 2010s, late 2000s. But Fresno State returns Jake Haener, who, if he was in a Power 5 program, he would probably be like a Heisman sleeper. You're probably not going to call him that because he plays for Fresno State. I love Fresno State's offense. No more Kalen DeBoer, but that almost could work to their advantage. I love Jalen Cropper. I think that this team, in my opinion, I would actually pick them to win the Mountain West.
Yeah, Jake Haener's awesome. It's a very good value pick. They can. May, I think, might be legit.
Yeah, and I don't think UNC is going to be that good, but you can also never rule out a team in that type of rivalry game. Like you can never rule out a UNC against NC State, even if NC State is clearly superior.
No real gripes, really. Like I would say I'm kind of weary about first year coaches, but then
Alabama, and I think both teams are going to make the conference championship. It's a matter of who would I want my team to play. Well, I want my team to play Georgia or NC State or Miami. So that's why I went with Clemson. I'm pretty sure they have NC State at home and Miami at home as well this year. So, I like them. Boise State. So y'all took my Houston pick. So that was my second option. I think they're gonna win the Mountain West. Same with UTSA. I think those are, I'm not gonna say locks, but I feel really good about those two.
UTS is a lock.
I think so too.
I think you can see that.
OU, I kind of had me. They were just sitting there, right? Like it would be kind of be dumb not to take them. And plus Texas was gone, so I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And then Central Michigan. I agree with Dave. I think Kent State is the favorite, but anything can happen. So I figured Pick the second best team. Watch some Mac. Gotta have
Yeah.
some action in there.
Central Michigan's actually the favorite right now to win the MAC.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, that's they're. I think Kent State's like fourth on the odds behind them.
I think
Not even
Toledo.
Miami,
Toledo
Ohio.
is,
Yeah, it's Central Michigan, Toledo, Northern Illinois, then Kent State. Central Michigan's legit. Like that's my. I took Central Michigan and Kent State to kind of like balance out my values, but Central Michigan could vary in the fifth round to get 5 points. That's probably next to Fresno. I'd say the best one in the fifth round because they legitimately could win the MAC. They're
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
Coming in, I knew I wanted Boise State, UTSA, and Clemson. Only one I didn't get was Houston. It
Yeah, I
would've been
wanted like
perfect. It would've
4
been
teams, but they got taken.
Good shit, man. Good shit. All righty. Let me give my spiel real quick. The only one I'm really prepared to defend is Ohio State. And that's because they return a lot of production. Over 70% of production are returning this year, and they're already a team that made the Rose Bowl. So, like, from all that, plus like the growth of Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr., continued progression of CJ Stroud, and Jim Knowles. Yeah, Jim Knowles. Fixing whatever mess that Kerry Coombs and the rest of the Ohio State defense left last year. I do think that them at number one is pretty easy value. I like Miami's sleeper pick mainly because the ACC is essentially, I wouldn't say dog shit, but it's dog shit. Let's be real. You have pretenders like NC State. You have Clemson, who has a quarterback that should not be playing quarterback at this rate. I mean, like Clemson also has so much turnover. They lost both their coordinators. Wasn't really feeling them, and their skill positions move about as fast as I do, which should say something. That should not be playing FBS football. So I like Miami there. Tyler Van Dyke's good, but like I said, first year. So if it wasn't for the fact ACC wasn't open, I would have not taken them third round. Oklahoma State, defending champs, giving them respect. I do know that they lose a lot. But again, I think everybody else kind of takes a step back. Like Oklahoma State's returning almost half their production, which is pretty low. It's like one of the lowest in the country, according to Bill Connolly. But at the same time, it's like I think everybody else is in the Big 12's either taking a step back, whether it's due to new coaches, downright stinky players, or whatnot. So I'm just giving them a champs bump right there. Like Wilson thinks Baylor's taking a step back. I think Baylor's also taking a step back. I think Oklahoma's a year away from being what they truly are. Texas will not be back. And then think about it. What else? TCU? Come on now. West Virginia? No. Iowa State? Always 7-5. Like, have some respect. Tennessee is like my good value pick because Heupel overachieved year one and they still added talent to the team. Cedric Tillman's one of the best receivers in the country. And even though Georgia and Alabama are clear two best, I think Tennessee's up there with Ole Miss as a team that could potentially get a New Year's Six bid from them. So if things break right for Tennessee, I know they're going to at least have 1-2 conference losses. Georgia has a tricky schedule coming up with they have Mississippi State on the road. If it's Arkansas, like it's just not great. So Tennessee's a value pick, and Toledo. I just like Toledo. I like Rockets. So
I like your picks. I think you reached for Oklahoma State. I think there was better options. I agree. I just think the Big 12 is just so wide open that it might be a bit of a reach when you had, like UTSA, UCF, a little bit more.
See, I didn't believe in UCF. Like, I don't believe in the Gus Bus, as you will. I have a AAC team in mind that I think will take a step, but it won't be UCF.
Are you saving that for another draft? You won't tell us?
No, I didn't choose it yet.
I will say, I kind of think Tennessee's a bit of a throwaway pick. I can understand the allure of Tennessee. Hendon Hooker is very good. Cedric Tillman is very good. That defense is not going to be very good. And you talked about they overachieved last year and they have a tough schedule this year. I just don't see anybody taking it away from Alabama or Georgia. That's the only conference where there's two national title contenders. There's not two in any other conference, and Tennessee's going to have to take down Georgia in their own division and then go to Atlanta and take down Alabama. I just don't think that's a realistic feat when teams like Fresno or even Air Force were up there.
I think Toledo's a great pick. That defense is going to be the best in that conference. Daquan Finn, returning start at quarterback. When he took over last year, about halfway through, that team did really well. And I think they went. Dave is the matching expert here. He can correct 8-4, 7-5, and I think all their losses were close. 8-4 were really close, crazy games, and most of their wins were blowouts. They're a great team that just had a few, great team for that level. Had a few fluky things kind of go against them, and I think they're going to have a much better year on in terms of wins. So.
Yeah, Daquan Flynn, their quarterback's legit. That's Liam's darling. He loved Toledo. He talked all about him on the preview. He's in love with the Rockets. I think Miami at 3 is a great pick. If you didn't take them and they fell to me, that would have been my play at 3. Because the way that we laid it out is that I think Miami can. Oh, 1 second, I had something to say, but I completely forgot. Yeah, I think Van Dyke is legit, and Miami can get. They could get to the title game if they beat Clemson, which will be tough. But I think they can do it. Tennessee, yeah, that's pure value. Ohio State is probably the biggest lock. I'm saying that I'm going to declare it now. They will win the Big Ten. Hopefully I jinx them because I hate Ohio State. But I keep bringing up these odds. They're the only team that is minus that you're pretty. It's not you have to buy bet $210 to win 100. They're minus 210. It's just not worth it all unless you bet them all in a parlay and throw them in there. But that's probably the best number 1 pick because you're going to at least get 1 point out of all this. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid draft.
I've seen a lot of people parlaying Ohio State and Alabama to get those odds just up if you're that high on both of those teams.
Do you guys want to see my crazy conference parlay that I put together? It's
I'm intrigued.
I got it. All right, ready? So it's 7 plays, $1.46 to win $14,600.
What we got?
Houston plus 240, Oklahoma State plus 550, Ohio State minus 210, Kent State plus 800, UTSA plus 210, and Bama minus 145. Oh, and Coastal plus 550. So
Bama minus 145 surprises me. I thought they'd at least be
it might have
even.
moved. It could. Let me see if it moved. Nope, still minus 145. Yeah, so them and Ohio State's the biggest favorite by far, and if anyone wants any of these other teams beside Ohio State and Bama, you can get decent value on. And then Cincinnati's a complete snub as they should be.
We didn't take a single other Big Ten team, and you're talking about some really strong programs that are going to stay in the top 25 all season.
Oh yeah,
Ohio State's just going to be that dominant this year.
Yeah, Michigan's going to be good again, but they're not good. Ohio State, this is the best. 2 of my best friends go to Ohio State, so we flip flop. They come to Penn State, we go to Ohio State every single year. That's what we do. So I always follow them closely. This is probably their best team that they've had in the past 5 years because they just a lot of guys came back, and Stroud's going to be really good, especially if Stroud runs the offense the way it should be run. They're good. You can't stop them.
Trevion Henderson is all that and a bag of chips.
Yeah, it's Smith and Jigba. It's unfair.
Yeah.
And we talked about Michigan. I think they could very well end up going 11-0 into the horseshoe.
Yeah.
I think that's a real possibility. They have a very weak non-conference. It's UConn, Hawaii, and I think Colorado State or something. It is awful.
Jim Mora Jr. is going to bring them back, okay?
Hey, Jim Mora, Husky Revolution. We are fans of UConn here, but not this year when they play Michigan because I like money. But I think they could very well go 11-0 in the first 11 games. Ronnie Bell's going to be a massive addition coming back from injury, but Ohio State, they're just too dominant, especially if CJ Stroud keeps up and improves his form.
Maybe Penn State gets Ohio State. Maybe we finally get them. I've yet to see them win live. I probably never will.
Next year is your year.
You think so? Drew Aller, come on, let him start.
On that note, thank you everyone for participating in this draft. Thank you if you're watching. Make sure to give us a like and a subscribe here on Transfer Portal CFB YouTube. Thanks. Season is just a few weeks away. Can't wait. Bye, everybody.
Texas is back.
They're not. Go Dogs.